In this video, I'll start explaining the third short story in your book, Colors of Rainbow, page number 92. So, rainbow is formed when sun shines immediately after rainfall. So, it's an effect created by the sunlight when the sunlight strikes the water droplets that are still in the atmosphere. So rainbow is actually, it's the sound strips of different colors. Colors of Rainbow is a Dogri short story. It's a Dogri short story. Dogri is a language. It's about the couple who engage in small quarrels and arguments. So it's about the couple, about a husband and a wife who engage in quarrels, who quarrel with each other and argument. They don't agree with each other. So they have a confrontation. Finally, things settle at a loveful and joyful note, and eventually, things settle down. They agree with each other, and the ending is very loveful and joyful. The rain had just stopped. I was looking out of the window. So here the story begins. So it's the writer says that the rain had just stopped. So rain had stopped falling. It was not falling. I was looking out of the window. He was looking out of the window after the rainfall. Occasionally a drop of water fell from the awning of the window, and occasionally drops of water fell from the awning of the window. Awning is the written on the boat. Awning is, it is, and it's also written on the book. Its meaning, it's a piece of material attached to a building to give protection against sun and the rain. So it is this. So it's material, or that's sometimes it's even made of bricks that is laid over the above the windows and the doors to protect them from the sunlight. And it's also seen outside the shops and outside the cafes. So the drops were occasionally falling from the awning of the window. The clouds had cleared, and the sun had also come out. So the clouds had cleared. There was no clouds. There were little or no clouds, and the sun had come out. The sun was shining after the rainfall. When the sun shines immediately after rainfall, it looks very pleasant. And yeah, it's very obvious that, and it's a fact that when sun shines immediately after rainfall, it looks beautiful, very beautiful. The view is very beautiful. The scenery is very beautiful. Sunshine after rainfall. I was watching the beauties of nature, lost in thought. So the writer was lost. He was watching the beauties, so he was enjoying the scenery. Just outside the window were small chili plants, and outside the windows had been planted chili plants. They had grown quite tall and were sporting red chilies. And they had grown tall. They were sporting red chilies. Red chilies is a different kind of, it's a kind of chilies. Drops of water were dripping, sliding down the plants. So from the chili plants, drops of water, raindrops were dripping. All my attention was centered on the raindrops. So his vision and his thought was centered on the raindrops falling from the chili plants. So he was keenly looking at those. So his attention, he was looking how they fall, where they come from, when they fall, what happens to them when they fall down, how often they fall, and he was, thinking about them. A light breeze was blowing outside, and air was blowing. Breeze, it's a little bit when air blows, but breeze, it's you know with cold, with a little bit cold, little cold. I wrapped the bedsheet around me tightly while staying on the cot. So he wrapped to protect himself. For the warmth, he wrapped a bedsheet around him and sat on a cot. Cot, it has a four legs. It's a kind of, it's similar to the bed, but it's light and it's little than bed. The kids were at play, going out and coming in. So kids were playing, and they were frequently and in and out. They were making a lot of noise, but I was more or less oblivious to it. They were making a noise, but he was not aware about that because he was lost in his own thoughts. So it did not make any difference for him, the noise of the kids. The chili plants were dancing in the breeze, and water drops were falling from them. The chili plants were dancing in the breeze. They were being pushed to and fro by the breeze, because air pushes the plants, and chili plants are not that much stiff. And they move with the force of the air, and they were dancing to and fro. Small patches of clouds were moving to and fro in the sky, and small patches of, and when the clouds disappear, disperse from the sky, and they actually they scatter around the sky in the form of small patches, small pieces of clouds. They were moving to and fro. They were moving because they are too light to be driven by the air. So the air, and the push of the air, it moves them to and fro, the clouds. Sometimes they covered the sun, and it became cloudy, and sometimes the sun came out, and in their course of to and fro, they were sometimes overlapping the sunlight, and sometimes the sun come out. It was like a game in the sky.